Hey everyone, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. And please also take a moment to thank yourself for trusting the call to be here, whether you are here live or watching the replay. Welcome to Reclaim Your Energy, a masterclass for the neurodivergent mother who shoves her rage down, betrays her body to keep everyone together, and is ready to break the cycle of burnout. I'm Marie LaLuna, spiritual life coach and intuitive practitioner. You may know me personally, social media, or maybe your friends or clients from mediumship or tarot readings. But now you're going to meet me on a much deeper level, as I'm going to meet you on a much deeper level with the wisdom I'm sharing with you. And for you amazing neurodivergent mothers, who's ready to stop shoving their rage down, betraying their body, and finally disrupt the cycle of burnout? That's great. Yep. Okay, yeah, let's see some hands. Let me see some hand emojis or prayer emojis in the comments. Yep, I see one, two, three. Okay. So while we wait for everyone to arrive, I want you to drop your location in the comments. Like, what state or country are you tuning in from? Oh, wow. Japan? That's really awesome. Orange County, California. I bet the weather there is beautiful right now. Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. Okay, cool, awesome. Y'all are tuning in from all over, it looks like. So, the next thing I want to ask y'all, and if you feel called to share, what brought you here today? What really made you say yes to this masterclass? Feel free to share if you would like to. We'll just give y'all a moment. Tired of the same cycles, breaking a lot of curses, trauma, and cycles, and this feels like a great step. Love that. It is definitely a great step, and I'm very proud of you for being here. What else? My energy is low, and I'm looking for some ways to reset my energy. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. It was time to start to tune back into who I really am at my core and release my holding of my inner me for a safe time. Love that. Thank you guys for your vulnerability. It takes a lot to be able to be honest with yourselves. So we're going to start this masterclass doing a short breathing exercise, nothing crazy. You literally just inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6. So we're going to go ahead and start. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold. Exhale for 6 seconds. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6. And one more time. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Okay, so this is an intentional space. We're not rushing, we're present, and we're just going to let everyone settle in. And as you're settling in, I want to ask you something. If you're a neurodivergent mother who is doing everything right and it's still not working, you're tracking your to-do list, showing up for your kids, pushing through the brain fog and the sensory overload, and you're still burnt the fuck out, still depleted, still running on empty, go ahead and put a hand in the comments right now. I see a hand. I see another hand. I see a raised hand. That works too. Okay, and I see some more hands. And if you are someone who has been in a cycle of burnout so long, you don't even remember what it felt like before, I want you to drop a fire emoji in the chat. Lots of fire emojis. Love that. More than one at a time. You're really burnt out. I get it. Okay. Now, let me tell you, rage is so important for neurodivergent women. I've created a whole section on it in Reclaiming the Matriarch program and in the work that I do. And that goes way more in depth about it. But you're exactly who I created this masterclass for. And I want you to know that you're really in the right place. And now that mostly everyone has settled in, we're really going to go ahead and get started. Inside this women's circle, I'm going to teach you 3 keys that bring it all together. This is, excuse me, this is for you if you've been shoving your rage down and it's been a coping mechanism for as long as you can remember. You've already stopped the cycle of yelling at your kids, but you're now silencing yourself so deeply that you're speaking underneath your breath. And you are ready to stop running from the breakdown and finally let it become your breakthrough. And you're going to walk away with this life-changing wisdom. It's going to change the trajectory of your entire life. So, number 1, discover the number 1 secret to feminine fire, the rage you were taught to fear, and how honoring it instead of silencing it disrupts the burnout cycle before it consumes you. If you like the sound of that, put some heart reacts. Love it. Okay. And number 2, learn the key to ending the self-betrayal cycle so your body finally feels like home and Your energy stops leaking into everyone else's needs. How does that sound? Put another fire emoji. Okay. So, number 3 is how to get started with emotional honesty. So, you can finally drop these unrealistic expectations and set boundaries that actually protect your energy. And number 4, you're going to avoid the mistake of suppressing your breakdown because it's the very thing that will activate your breakthrough. Okay. If you love the sound of all of that, put a lightning strike emoji in the chat. Good. I see some lightning strikes. Okay, awesome. So now we are going to learn about the keys. So here's what makes my work different and why I have a unique approach. Because I'm not here to teach you rage management. That's not why we're here. I teach rage reclamation because your rage doesn't live in your head. It lives in your womb. And when you spent your whole life being told to pray it away, regulate it away, breathe it away, you don't heal. You just bury it deeper inside you. And I know this because it cost me my entire identity. I was a chronic people pleaser. And when I stopped performing, I didn't find power immediately. I found emptiness. I found a void. And when I found my rage again, when I really allowed my rage to be expressed, that's when I found my gifts. Actually, scratch that. That's when I remembered my gifts. Your sensitivity, your passion, your creativity, your mother's intuition, that's not separate from your rage. It all comes from the same place. So that's why my work is different. And I believe in transparency. So I'm going to show you what's possible today. Then I'm going to show you how to get to the next level. So if you are feeling this work in your womb as I speak it, it's not a coincidence. It's divine timing. And it's a calling into deeper somatic identity and cyclical transformation. Your womb is directly speaking to you. Your connection to your ancestors, that will be pulling you. And they're here to also show you that there is another way. There is a portal waiting for you, one that will activate and integrate what I call remembrance. If you would love to remember who you are, I want you to drop some hearts in the comments. Yeah, you want to remember who you are before you were taught to survive, before you were taught to suppress yourself, before you were told that your rage is something to be afraid of, something wrong, it's a sin. I want you to stay with that feeling through this entire masterclass, because at the end of it, I'm going to show you exactly how to answer it. And I created a free worksheet specifically for this masterclass. At the end, I'll have you type reclaim in the comments and I'll email it to you. If you, so if you're ready to fully get into it, let's start. So I've created a life that feels electric and grounded at the same time. I have slow mornings, I'm going to stop presenting for a second. I have slow mornings. I spend my time in nature. Hang on, I just want to make sure. Did I go blurry? If I went blurry, let me know. Because I look blurry to me. No blur? Okay. As long as y'all don't see it, that's fine. Okay, so thank you. So I have slow mornings. I spend time in nature. I'm present in my body. I'm not afraid of my expression, no matter what that looks like. And I'm a neurodivergent mom raising a neurodivergent teenager, and we're breaking generational patterns together, one conscious choice at a time. Our relationship is actually built on safety, honesty, and real connection. My marriage is strong. We communicate. I feel understood. I feel seen. And the work I do fills my soul. The community I'm in is real, it's honest, it's aligned, and we honor each other wherever we are. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that because I know exactly what it feels like to live the opposite. And it really was not always like this. There was a time when my body didn't feel safe to live in. I survived by overriding my needs, silencing my emotions, disconnecting from myself to function, disconnecting from my rage, my body, my sensitivity. Thank you for the comments. um, I didn't lose who I was, okay? And a lot of us have been programmed, even after our healing journeys have started, to believe that we lost ourselves. Or maybe when we were younger, people would say, like, you've lost yourself. But it's not that you lost yourself, it's that you were conditioned to suppress yourself. And I learned very early that my feelings were too much, that anger was wrong, that rage was dangerous, that my body was an inconvenience. So I learned to push through, to keep going, even when my body was screaming for me to stop. And over time, that turns into something deeper. It turns into debilitating pain. It turns into menstrual cramps. It turns into irregular periods and all these systematic or symptomatic things that happen in our body. And from that place, you start silencing yourself to keep the peace. Exactly. Alopecia, hair loss, there's so many different symptoms. Chronic stress begins to present, and that our bodies end up manifesting these conditions and these pains because you start betraying your body to hold everything and everyone together. You carry roles, expectations, trauma, and a lot of us don't even realize how far you've drifted from yourself. You're not living, you're simply just trying to survive. And I get that. And that survival is really what turns into complete burnout. But there's a moment where someone or something shifts inside you when you decide to stop running from what you feel and you finally let yourself feel it. When you are emotionally, physically, and spiritually honest with yourself, that rage you were taught to fear, you start to feel it in your body. And instead of it destroying you, right? Like instead of these anxiety attacks or panic attacks or things that are happening inside our bodies, it starts to bring you back to life when you truly express it. You start to feel this sacred power come back to you. Your voice starts to return and you start expressing yourself. Your body starts to feel like a place you can actually exist in again. And you stop apologizing for what you feel. And instead, you honor the way you feel. And you start trusting it and trusting that feeling. So that breakdown, oh, I don't want to have a panic attack. Oh, I don't want to have an anxiety attack. Oh, I don't want to cry. I don't want to get angry. That is where your breakthrough happens. It's by pushing it away that you're not allowing yourself to feel deeply. And that is what creates the burnout. It's not the panic attacks. It's not the anxiety attacks. It's the suppression of what you truly feel. Because that's where your clarity comes from. That's where your power comes from. That's where your identity comes back and you start to actually remember yourself. You remember who you were before someone told you to be someone completely different. And you stop surviving, you stop simply surviving your life. You start actually living. How would it feel in your body to live life again? To live life, because a lot of us have trauma all the way from the beginning. I want you to drop some smileys in the comments. If it would feel amazing to start creating your life moment by moment, intentionally, moment by moment, because that's what it truly means to reclaim your energy. Okay, let's all take a deep breath. I'm going to take a sip. If you love that, drink some water, hydrate, listen to your bodies. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, here we go. Key number 1. Rage was never a sin. What? Rage was never a sin. It's not about doing more. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about coming back to the parts of you that were labeled a sin, wrong, or a problem. If you come from religious conditioning, I want you to drop a prayer emoji in the comments. Because this is the first place that it shows up. And the first place women have been taught to disconnect from themselves is their rage. Because for so many of us, that was the first thing we were told was wrong. We were told, be quiet, be the good girl. You know, the first thing we were told to suppress, the first thing we were told made us too much, unsafe, or even unlovable. So we learn to silence it. We learn to silence ourselves. We learn to silence our rage. We learn to silence our anger, our emotions, our feelings. We learn to soften it. We learn to push it down and pretend it wasn't there. That's where everything starts to fracture. So the first key, the first thing that begins to shift everything really is your rage was never a sin. And instead of internalizing something that we were taught when we were younger, like rage is a sin, it's wrong, start to really accept this. Your rage was never a sin. And I'll say it again because it's potent, it's powerful, and it's true. It's not something dangerous. It's not something that made you a bad daughter, bad sister, friend, mother, a bad partner, a bad person. And that's what most of us were taught to do, right? To soften it, push it down, breathe through it, regulate it, pray it away, anything but actually feel it and express it. And for a while, it looks like it works, right? You become more agreeable, more patient, easier to be around. But again, what's actually happening is you're turning all of that energy inward, right? You start to resent what's happening. And that's when your burnout starts to build. And that becomes an even stronger fire. But this fire is not contained. It's not expressed. It just feels like you're exploding or imploding on the inside. It becomes tension in your body. And the rage doesn't disappear. It becomes resentment you don't say out loud. It becomes exhaustion because you're constantly holding yourself back and over compromising yourself past boundaries. And I see this with neurodivergent mothers all the time, all of the time, in my friends, in my community, all over social media, all these podcasts you listen to. So you've done the work to stop exploding. You've healed, right? But now you're whispering. You've learned how to hold it all together, but it's costing you your energy and you're exhausted by 8 a.m., an hour after you woke up. So the shift here isn't learning how to control your rage. It's learning how to listen to it and express it. Now, I want to ask you something. Do you feel this activation that I'm talking about in your sacral chakra? Do you feel it in your womb? Do you feel it in your solar plexus? Your rage is the part of you that knows where your boundaries have been crossed, where you said yes when you meant no, and where you've been silencing yourself to keep the peace. If that sounds like you, I want you to type yes in the comments. See, we have lots of people saying yes. And it's so true. But it's also, your rage is a messenger. It's information. It's truth. And the moment you stop making it wrong and start getting curious about it, your energy becomes like it comes back. You disrupt the cycle of burnout through this. How good would it feel to be able to disrupt the cycle of burnout and break free from it? I want you to just notice, where do you feel irritation in your body lately? Is it in your shoulders, in your stomach? Where are you having these symptoms in your body? Where do you feel that heat, that tightness, that pressure? My throat and low back, your stomach, shoulders, neck, back, coat hanger pain. Wow. Coat hanger pain. And I don't want you to fix it, right? Like, I don't want you to analyze it. Don't create these stories in your head of where it comes from. Just notice it, because that's the beginning. That's where your voice starts to come back to full expression. And this is something we go much deeper inside my work. Because when you learn how to actually hold that energy safely in your body instead of suppressing it and finally expressing it, that's when everything begins to shift. Okay, that was just key number 1. So who's feeling good? Drop some fire emojis if you're feeling the heat now. If you just learned something and you're like, oh crap, that's me. Oh shit, that's me. She's talking to me. I want you to drop those fire emojis. Okay. Lots of fire emojis I see in the comments. Oh, entire torso. Also. Okay. So we're going to key number 2. Your body was never an inconvenience. Once you start listening to your rage, the next thing it begins to show you is your body. Because for most of us, we weren't taught to trust our bodies. We were taught to listen to our caregivers and their opinions and their thoughts about how we should feel, how we should act, what we should do. And most of us were taught how to override them, to push through exhaustion, to ignore tension, to ignore pain, to keep going no matter what, especially as mothers, especially as neurodivergent mothers. Your body gets labeled too sensitive, too reactive, too much. So you disconnect from it. Just to function, just to survive, just to try to continue taking care of yourself or just your family. Because sometimes when that happens, you become an afterthought. And that disconnection is where burnout deepens. Because now it's not just that you're doing too much, it's that you're doing everything without yourself because you're constantly disassociating from your body. And your body sends you signals all day long. It tells you, slow down. This is too much. That doesn't feel right. And instead of listening to it, you override it to complete your tasks and your to-do list over and over and over again. And this isn't to shame you. This is not to judge you. I'm here to witness and to share this wisdom with you because of course you feel depleted. That's where the shift is. That's where the realization comes that your body was never the problem and your body is not an inconvenience. The body is the messenger. The tension you feel, the shutdown, the overstimulation, that's communication. And when you start to listen to your body and you stop betraying it, you stop abandoning it, instead of pushing past it, you begin to rebuild trust with yourself. So even right now, I want you to just check in for a moment. What is your body asking for in this very moment? And if you feel called, you can type it in the comments. And this isn't what your to-do list says. Not when everyone else needs around you. Movement, grounding, rest, grounding and reflection. Ooh, I just got chills. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing what your body needs. Whatever came up first, that's the truth. That's your truth. That's where your energy starts to return, where you really start listening to that call, because those words are messages from your body. Release and surrender. Sometimes it's grounding, sometimes it's stimulus. This is where internal safety actually begins. Would you believe me if I told you you are suppressing your own internal safety? And if that shocked you, put some comments on it, put some emojis there. Doesn't matter what they are. If that realization that you are suppressing your own internal safety is a massive hit, an activation, a stirring that you feel in your body, drop some comments. And we'll be on our way to key number 3. And as I tell y'all to listen to your bodies, I too will listen to my body. Give me just a second. Okay, so here we are. Key number 3. This is a big one too. Key number 3. Your sensitivity was never too much. When you start to feel your rage, when you start realizing and accepting that your body was not an inconvenience, the next thing that comes back is your sensitivity. And this isn't out of a state of hypervigilance, but awareness, emotional intelligence, and emotional honesty. This is a piece so many women have also been taught to reject, because we've heard you're too emotional, you're crazy, you're too intense, too aware, too affected by everything. So you shrink it. You try to toughen up, be strong, numb out, push through. You stop crying. But your sensitivity was never the problem, and it's never too much. It's your capacity. It's what allows you to feel deeply, love deeply, intuitively understand your children, pick up on things that other people miss, assert your boundaries where you were once afraid to. But when you don't feel safe in your own sensitivity, it becomes overwhelming. It turns into overstimulation. It turns into shutdown, isolation, and it turns into burnout. And that often makes mothers feel like strangers in their own home. If you've ever felt like a stranger in your own home, I want you to put a sad face, because no mother should ever have to feel like a stranger in their own home. Not because it's wrong, but because you were never taught how to hold your sensitivity. So instead of trying to be less sensitive, how to anchor the truth is you have to anchor it in your body while you feel. When that sensation comes up, that sensitivity comes up, it shouldn't be, no, I don't have time for this. You have to feel it in those moments, even if it's just for a few seconds. And you don't have to pull yourself away into the bathroom so your kids don't see you crying. Because how are your kids going to accept and love their sensitivity and love themselves deeply no matter what they're feeling if you're always shielding yourself away from them so they don't have to see it? So, right now, I want you to just notice, where do you feel overstimulated lately? Where do you feel like everything is too much? Where do you feel like just bawling your eyes out and crying to let go? Feel free to drop it in the comments because your vulnerability is so powerful here. You sharing this is pure medicine and wisdom for the other women that are in this class. Those sensations where you're noticing, where you're overstimulated, it's not weakness. That's awareness. And when you learn how to work with your sensitivity and when you learn how to channel it instead of being against it, it becomes one of your greatest sources of clarity, power, and connection. Have you noticed that when you cry in the moment, you feel catharsis after? You feel deeply grateful for the next moment. You may feel sad or upset or overstimulated, but when you allow yourself to feel that, you don't regret it after because it feels good. It feels beautiful and cathartic, and you're not a failure for feeling it. This is really where we go deeper inside my work, because this is where you stop trying to survive your experience and actually start feeling safer inside of it. You don't have to suppress your internal safety anymore. Your body, your brain, and your nervous system are accepting your beliefs as its truth and your truth as its belief. Okay, how did that feel, guys? Those were the 3 keys. How are your bodies feeling right now? Here's what I want you to take away from today. Your rage was never the sin. It was never a sin. Your body was never an inconvenience. And your sensitivity was never too much. These 3 things you were conditioned to believe. These 3 things that were conditioned out of you. Reclaiming them is how you reclaim your energy. And this is just the beginning. If you felt something activate in you today, I don't want you to let that window close. Because your insight has a window. And before I let you go, I promised you something at the beginning. If you want your 3 reclaim prompts, excuse me, go ahead and type reclaim in the comments right now, and I will have those emailed to you. Reclaim, reclaim. I see y'all. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. These are 3 journal questions. These are 3 prompts designed to help you take everything we activated today. We learned about the wisdom we felt, the fiery sensations we felt, and bring it and ground it and anchor it all the way back into your body. And I want to invite you to take the next step. I have created Reclaiming Your Rhythm Discovery Call. If you're a neurodivergent mom and you're sensing that there is something changing beneath your surface, but you're finding that you're drowning in burnout, and you want to break the cycle of masking, and you want to trust your body again, I want to book you, or I want you to book yourself in for a Reclaiming Your Rhythm Discovery Call. I know what you might be thinking, okay? Because I know how y'all think. I'm a neurodivergent mom too. I know how y'all think. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I can't afford to invest right now. And I want you to hear me. This call is free, okay? I'm offering it free. It is 50 minutes, and it is designed specifically for neurodivergent nervous systems. This isn't like any other call you've been on. It's me. Yes, I will put the link there. Of course. I think I can stop sharing now. I'll just do it this way. Okay, link being weird, but that's okay. Give me a second and I will send you. Here we go. There's the link. And what I want you to remember is you don't have to have it all together. Actually, please don't have it all together. You just have to show up. That's it. You just have to show up. It's free. It's 50 minutes. It's sacred. It's intentional. And during this call, I'm going to help guide you. I'm going to channel intuitive insight, and I'm going to witness you. I'm going to help you fuse this energetic, somatic intelligence that your body is feeling and create a timeline shift at a soul level, at a womb honoring level. That's why the session is so important, and you need to book now, because your insight really has a window when you first feel seen. When you have that feeling of activation, fire, and lightning like you're having right now, that's when the change is really going to happen. It's not 20 days from now. It's right after you feel this activation and you decide, in that moment because you felt something deep in this class, that's when you know the change is going to be super powerful. It's going to be potent as hell. Okay. If you wait, you're going to slip right back into your old coping mechanisms. The same things that burn you out. And it is free, but it's only available for the next 7 days. I only have 6 slots available, and it's only available for the next 7 days. And after this, I also will be offering the replay of this recording as well. So I'll have that directly sent to y'all. If y'all signed up for this masterclass, it's automatically going to be sent to you. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, only 6 spots available the next 7 days. And after that, this call returns to its full price and the investment is $459. The link is in the comments. Book yourself now. There's the link. Your insight has a window. All the rejections, all the, oh, I don't have time. Just remember how many hours you spent out with burnout tax. And book yourself in. And yeah, thanks, guys. I would be delighted and honored to see when y'all are booking and how many of y'all are booking. So thank you so much. I'm going to stop this recording in 2 seconds. I'll go ahead and end the recording by saying thank you so much for listening to yourselves, being here and present for the full hour, and being in this masterclass, Reclaim Your Energy.